like, "Oh, Jane, I hope everything's okay. Like, I tried to text you a couple of times. Did you get those texts? It's me, Justin. I hope everything's going well with you." And then fucking nothing, silence again for probably another hour. I probably texted her once again or went to the call, but we'll say I texted her again because I probably did. Probably texted her again around 3 or 4. "Hey, Jane, hope everything's okay. Now you have me really worried. Yeah, I haven't heard back from you all day. Do you still want to go to the movies?" Again, fucking radio silence. There's absolutely nothing. Like, this girl does not want to answer her phone or reply back. And me, being the delusional asshole that I was, thought that she actually was still interested and that something really happened. Like, this girl, something catastrophic has happened to this poor girl. She's been in an accident. She's come down with a a life-threatening disease or ailment or illness, and she has been hospitalized, and something, incredibly bad has happened. So, being the do-good 17-year-old young man that I am, I start blowing up her phone, and I start calling her endlessly, like, ringing, and, I must have called her 3 or 4 times in a row and left her a couple of voicemails to top it off, asking her or hoping, praying that this girl was okay and that, as soon as she was able to return my call back, to immediately call me back because I'm so sickeningly worried about her health and her well-being. And, 5 o'clock rolls around. I'm still, worried for her. And, obviously at this point I'm getting anxious myself. But 5 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 6 o'clock comes around, nothing. 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing. Eventually, I think around midnight, I get to the point where it kind of dawns on me that this girl blew me off and that she probably isn't actually sick because, or, nothing really happened because her phone has been ringing, or her phone was ringing, and I probably did call her a couple more times, I don't remember, but her phone had been ringing the whole time, and the text had been delivered, even way back then. This is 10 years ago now when texting was just kind of starting off. Even back then, the sending rate, the deliverability of the text was like fucking 99%. So all the texts went through, all my calls went through, my voicemails went through. I think it dawned on me around midnight that this girl had fucking blown me off. And as it turns out, she did. So the next day, weirdest thing ever though, like even to this day, it's kind of fucking weird. Even to this day, I don't understand this girl's reaction. Like, she could have just answered the phone or texted me back and been like, "Dude, you're a fucking complete loser. Leave me alone. You have no game." She could have did that. She could have left me a voicemail. She could have did any number of things. But what she actually did was kind of funnier and strangely weirder. But the next day I go in class and, at this point I definitely know for a fact she blew me off. Sit next to the girl in class, mind you. So for the next 3 months or so. This was towards the beginning of the semester, the term. For the next 3 months or so, not only do we not speak about what had happened, what had happened was, not only do we not speak about what happened, we don't even fucking talk. We don't even say a word. We don't even look at each other. For the next 3 months or so, this girl is facing forward in her desk, her seat. I'm facing forward in my desk and seat. And we're basically parallel, like within a fucking arm's reach away, 2-3 feet away. And we don't fucking look nor say a word to each other and pretend like, not even pretend because it was awkward as shit. If we pretended like it didn't happen, it wouldn't be so awkward. But we just sort of shittily acted like it didn't happen for the next 3 months. And it was fucking awkward as hell every single day that I went into that class and had to sit next to that girl. Because she blew me off. She knew she blew me off. I knew she blew me off. And she never even spoke about blowing me off again the rest of her life, nor did I want to bring it up because I felt like a complete idiot. I was a complete idiot, and I felt like the complete idiot that I was that entire time. But actually, as it turns out, the funny thing is, this story sort of has a happy ending because it was that day, the day that she blew me off was the day I started researching how to get better with women. I actually Googled that term, how to get good or how to get better with women, and sort of embarked on this self-help journey of becoming good with fucking girls, like how to actually have some game, like how to not be a complete loser, fucking chode on the text game, and how to be a man, and how to have good general game, good flirting, good attraction, good eye contact, good body language, good confidence. All that shit ensued in the 3, 4, 5, 6 months after that. And then year or two after, like 2-3 years after that point, I had fucking an unbelievable game and could basically, not every girl, but could basically go up and attract almost every girl I went up to. And it was because, I mean, that was basically the trigger for all of it to happen. So like many things in life, or almost, basically all things in life, this was a true blessing in disguise. So needless to say, that was at the time it happened, it was fucking terrible. It hurt. It really did hurt a lot. It stung. But it in the long run, it helped me out. That was the thing that triggered a lot of change, a lot of massive change in my life, and helped me become the man I am today for sure. But it was really one of the key moments in my life in terms of rejection and in terms of failure. The last thing, I'll share another story too, real quick story. I hope you guys are liking these stories and they don't completely suck, because I think there's a lot of value in telling stories. I think they're entertaining. They're kind of funny to look back on and make fun of myself, but I also think there's a lot of value in them. A lot of you guys listening probably have gone through similar things. Maybe not the exact same thing. Maybe you weren't as bad as me. Maybe you didn't call her 10 times in the same day, or text her 10 times and be as naive. Maybe you weren't as naive as I was, thinking that this something really happened to this girl, because we all fucking knew that nothing really happened. And I think even in the back of my mind, I kind of knew nothing had happened and that she was blowing me off, but I didn't want to believe it. But we've all been through things like this in our lives, and we've all faced similar rejections to this. But how you deal with those rejections is really the deciding factor. I like to say this too a lot. You're going to face rejection. You're going to face failure, no matter what. In any aspect of life, whether that's social failure, whether that's business failure, whether that's your health at times, getting sick, personal failures, whatever it is, you will face failure. You will face rejection. It's a part of life. It's just how it is. You have good days, you have bad days, you have good things happen to you, you have shitty things happen to you. It's going to happen to you. Just like it rains. If you step outside, it rains. It's going to rain no matter what. Some days it'll be sunny, like 4th of July this year. It's going to be fucking beautiful. I think it's going to be 85, 90, not a cloud in the sky. I'm going to absolutely love it. Some days it'll be like that. Some days it'll be beautiful, like 4th of July days, and you'll just have a great day, and it'll be fucking fantastic. Other days it's going to be shitty. It's going to thunderstorm. It's going to pour. It might even fucking, hail on you. But it's how you deal with that. It's how you react to that is the deciding factor. If you want to be like me when I was 17 years old and you want to be a fucking weirdo and pretend like you didn't get rejected, well, not even pretend. Like I said, it was more just like a shitty form of acting. It wasn't even, because if I can pretend that something doesn't affect me, and it doesn't affect me, because I'm like, you know what, it's not going to affect me, and it's not going to. That's kind of like, how I defined pretend in that situation, in this regard. But in terms of like shitty acting and like, just being super awkward, and every single day, by the way, I went into that class, it was fucking awkward. It was really, really weird having to sit next to this girl, and I dreaded every single day. I dreaded, like for the hour or two leading up to that class, I dreaded going into that class. And then the hour or so, I think it was like hour and 15 minute class or whatever, that hour and 15 minute fucking sucked. Those hour and 15 minutes dragged by, and it was so weird and so uncomfortable, trust me. So you could either choose to face your rejection or face your failures in that term, in those regard, in that regard, I guess, and just be super weird about it, and not learn from it, and not grow from it, and not take any life lessons out of it. You can do it that way, and whatever, fucking, I think it's horrible, but you can certainly do that. Or you can choose to learn from that. You can choose to see your mistakes. You can choose to analyze some of the things you did wrong, and then go out and seek the advice of people who have been there, who have done those things in the past, and see what it is you can do better, what you can do right the next time. Like in terms of ketogenic diet shit. Go out and fucking research, man. Go do your research. Or I know I have a course on this. I'm not gonna pitch you my course, but I have a course. It's called naturaldatingblueprint.com. It's called Natural Dating Blueprint. You can find it at naturaldatingblueprint.com. I talk about all this shit. Guys like me, dating coaches. I don't really do the dating stuff anymore, but I've done dating coaching for many years. I've helped many, probably thousands of guys now at this point figure out these problems, figure out their dating problems. There's other guys like me. There's other dating guys out there, dating coaches who know their shit, who know how to help you, who know how to teach you like text game and teach you basic fucking attraction game and teach you basic conversational skills and things like that. There's plenty of guys out there. There's no excuse for you to continually make these same mistakes. It took me, like I mentioned earlier, probably 12 years old, I started fucking making these mistakes with girls and letting these problems get to me. It wasn't until I was about 18, 6 years later, that I fucking figured these problems out, that I actually put my foot down and realized that, I got to make a fucking change here. There's a lot of things I'm doing wrong. It's not like, there's no pattern here. There certainly is a pattern of me repeatedly making the same mistakes and not learning from them. And it wasn't until I started learning from them and getting the right information that I saw change. I didn't actually stop seeing rejection with women. That didn't come for a while. I mean, even now, like seriously, like I said before, you'll never stop having rejection with women. It's just how you deal with that rejection. So when I got the right information, when I got the information that I needed, the advice, and I listened to dating coaches and even some pickup artists who back in the day were good and helped me out a ton, when I started listening to these guys, I took the rejections as a way to fucking grow, as a way to learn, as a way to improve myself in my dating life. It wasn't just like a rejection that hit me and stung me and lasted, weeks or months on end, and that I didn't, learn from or grow from or evolve from and become a better skilled dating person from. It became every single rejection from that point forward, from that day that girl blew me off like that, every single rejection became a learning lesson and became a lesson on how to improve my dating life. And that's why I got good at dating, and that's why I got good really fast, because I threw myself into the fire. I realized, I don't know exactly where I got it from, but I got it back then from somebody, either in the dating community or the pickup artist community. Somebody somewhere said something about putting yourself out there and getting rejected. And I just fucking took that and ran with it, because from that point forward, I threw myself into the fire. I got rejected time and time again. But every single time I got rejected, I learned. I learned something new. I became a better, more socially, conversationally, attractionally, that is not a fucking word, but attractively, I guess, better, more refined man. I became better skilled, and every single time I had an interaction socially, whether even from guys, even from women I wasn't attracted to, every single time I had a social interaction, it was a learning lesson for me. It was a lesson. It was basically like going to school and fucking learning. You take a math class, and every single day you go in, you learn a new equation or a new formula. You learn how to do this. You learn how to add. You learn how to multiply. You learn how to do all kinds of shit every single day. So every single conversation was like a math class, a new math class, and a new day in math where I would learn a new formula, a new equation, a new technique, a new skill, a new strategy that I could implement here or there, or say these different things or these different techniques, or use a different tone, a different body language, positioning, whatever it was. I was learning something new every single time. And from that point where I got rejected from that girl and I had to sit next to her in class, from that point forward, every single thing in my life changed. It wasn't like immediately like, this heavens open up and I see fucking some crazy angel, and I had that like buzzing sound that you hear on TV, like and everything's like holy and something. It wasn't like that. It wasn't a divine experience by any means. But from that point forward, I made sure that it was a profound experience and something that changed my life, and it totally did. So again, I don't even know. Did I mention this before? I hope I didn't. But I was going where I was going with that initially, before I got a little sidetracked, was it's going to rain no matter what. You're going to have your shitty days. You're going to have your good days. But it's going to rain no matter what. And if you are able to handle that, if you are able to deal with all the bullshit, if you know how to handle rejection, you know how to handle failure, it's like having an umbrella when it pours out. You can walk by and, it's still raining. You haven't stopped the rain. We haven't, in 2018 or anytime soon, we haven't found out how to manipulate the rain and manipulate the weather. I think I've heard, conspiracy theorists or some people, I think in India or whatever, who are super rich, I heard it on somewhere that they can do it already, or that they're about to be able to do it. I don't know if that's fucking true, but the mainstream media has not covered that to my attention, and I think we're probably some years off from that happening. But we haven't been able to stop the clouds. We haven't been able to stop the rain, and it's going to rain no matter what. So using this analogy,